What's going on, people? What is going on, man? You are now tuning in to the Heavy Hitters. Let's get it. We gonna cut it down a little bit. What's going on, people? What is going on? As you already know, this is Wednesday, which means this is your Heavy Hitters Wednesday. I am your host, Six Man K Styles. To the stage left, as you know him as the mad scientist. He's here.
I want to look like that little monkey that was sitting on that. That little monkey sitting on there. You like it? I don't know what it is, a boomer fool or whatever.
Hey, is it? And I was leaping down the hill, leap. Zaboomer Food, Mad Mike Sports, and down at the bottom, as you already know, with this show, you always need a minister, the calm before the storm. Jew Talk Sports.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I think it's time for those three special words. What do we call them? What we do? Roll call. And today's
That's the real That's it.
and today's roll call, we gonna kick it off with Joseph Thornton, Robert Ponder, Raymond Elder. We got Big Ant in the building, Ghost Peppers, Pat Norris, Tev Sports and Gaming, Randy Weatherford, Pamela Johnson, Silas Draven, Darnell Partridge, Ran. We got the Falcon Therapist, aka Juan from around the way, Andrew G, Bubba Gump, ATL Leo, Brian Peoples, Prince Kell, Weezy B, Thea D, Charles B, Raheem DeVille, D Sloan, Keyshawn Vlad, Low Ski, Rob Banks, got the homie Sonia, Lyric's mom in the building, Chris Beavers, ATM is in the building, JB, Pody TV, Bobby Boy Zone 3, Nino Bree, and Tony Wright. Hey, man. Do y'all smell that?
I don't know what you smell.
It smells like the song is about to get cut off here in about 3, 2, 1. And it sounds like this is going to be, we call this the Petty Bowl. Why do we call it the Petty Bowl? Because as some of us Falcon fans haven't forgiven Kyle Shanahan for the BS that he pulled. But this ain't about that. Y'all came over here to see some three keys and see what our thoughts is on how the Falcons can beat these 49ers. So let's go ahead and get right into it. And to kick us off with these three keys. Oh, wait a minute. Gentlemen, y'all got anything y'all want to speak on before we get to these three keys?
I'm good.
All right.
No, I ain't gonna see it. I was about to say it, but I thought about I might get demonetized if I say this person's name.
Okay.
Just say it like this. If you even mention anything about this particular person and the issues that he's causing across the world, you kind of see, you kind of know him. But I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. We ain't about to go down that rabbit hole.
Mm-hmm.
Nah.
That person.
No.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say fuck that person, but
hey, look, we trying to get paid to the fullest extent of the monetization side of the game.
Nah, like as soon as you mention that person's name, they was like, nope, y'all be in this.
Oh, okay. So let's go ahead. And kick this off with these three keys, man. And today to bless us with the three keys to victory. Mad Mike Sports. Your key to victory is very interesting. But what is your key to victory?
Oh, I remember what I was going to say. Everybody has had, either you have a girlfriend or you have a wife. They like to do certain things to get warmed up. Like you just can't jump in there with women. You just gotta, you gotta rub the belly a little bit. Do some strange things for the change, and then you get to the dude. Know what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta warm them up a little bit. You just gotta
hold on, Mike. I'm thinking we kind of getting a little disclaimers here. I think we're getting kind of a warning shot. I've seen a couple people speak on this. There's a certain website copying y'all topic from yesterday.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
So who what's it?
Say y'all need to copyright y'all vids. Oh, wow. Oh, really? We like that? Y'all let me know who that is.
I'm gonna need a little bit more information. A little bit more information on
a little
this.
bit more. a little bit more. But yeah, y'all let us know who. Let us know. Like I said, if y'all ain't gonna say it here, like I said, you just hit us up on Twitter on Mad Mike, 6-Man K Styles with Utah Sports, and y'all can tell us there. But go ahead, Mike. Continue.
No, but like I said, with women, they don't like to. You can't just buy them a car and just get it over with. You know what I'm saying? You gotta rev up the engine a little bit. You gotta put some oil in. Gotta put a little gas in it. Gotta make sure it smells good, all that type of stuff. Why am I saying that? It's because I'm about tired of waiting 21 quarter, 2 quarter, 3 quarters to get things started. Look, bro, like we need to get to it quickly and quick as possible. So my first key today is we got to get Drizzy started early. Got to get him started early, man. What I've seen from him lately is that when he gets involved and the offense early, he's sort of that spark for the Atlanta Falcons. Something that I've noticed. It's not Marcus Mariota, it's not Caleb, it's not Tyler Algier. It's Drake. When Drake gets started early, you can see the energy start to shift and the attitude. Like he plays with a certain swagger. He plays with a certain energy when he's touching the ball. So the Falcons want to kind of get off to a quick and early start, get the fans involved, get the passing game going. They got to get Drake going early, man. The dude is one of those guys who he reminds me of a Roddy White. He reminds me a lot of Roddy White. When Roddy ain't touching the ball, he ain't talking. So I need Drake to get the talking, get the energy, get the players going, the offensive players going, man. But like I said, like Roddy, he loves to talk smack. He loves to get hit. He loves to go at the DB. He loves to go at these linebackers. Get him started early. Get him at least 3 targets in the first quarter. All right. If you can get all 3 in the first drive, fine. But he needs to be targeted early so the Falcons can get off to a fast start. So that's the thing that I've noticed with the Atlanta Falcons. It takes them a little bit of time to kind of get early. And I think if you switch it just a little bit on teams, in particular, the 49ers, because I just don't think they have a very good honestly, I just don't think they have a great secondary. I think we can take advantage of that secondary with Drake. So attack those corner, attack those safeties. They still kind of play a little soft zone. And like I said, I believe that we can take advantage of that. So get Drake the ball early, fast, quick, so we can rely on the running game to close games out. But we got to get off to a quicker start. We got to get off to a faster start. Our offense has been struggling a little bit, getting off to quick and fast starts. But we can start that now. We'll get our 3rd win of the season.
So Jew, got a question for you, man. As Mike said, to utilize Drake London early. Why do you think it's more important to get Drake London started early than Kyle Pitts? If Kyle Pitts is going to be playing in this game.
Well, I think in this last game, due to Kyle Pitts being out of the game, the Bucks kind of took Drake London out of the last game because he was like the number one, usually when Kyle Pitts is out there, he's the number one target as far as in the passing game. So Drake London was that complimentary player. But last week, it kind of was like he had the target on his back. And that's what I thought that Olamide Zaccheaus was going to have a big game. He did end up scoring a touchdown. But in this game, I think the whole Drake London getting him involved early, I think Mike is right when he says that. And you don't have to really scheme up anything for Drake London. If you guys watched Brian Baldinger's breakdown 2 games ago, just throw it to Drake London in the flat. Just let him touch the rock. Both him and Kyle Pitts are playmakers. So they're going to run out the catch. So you don't have to necessarily scheme up if you're Arthur Smith. No great play for Drake London. If in a lot of teams, because we're a run-first team, they're going to crowd the box, just like the Buccaneers. They were blitzing. They were crowding the box, bringing their safeties down. Throw that ball out there to Drake London in one-on-one coverage because 9 times out of 10, he's going to make that first corner miss, and he's going to be able to get yards run out the catch. So I really think it's not only for Drake London to get his juices flowing, but also to get Marcus Mariota in a rhythm as far as the passing game. Because we know in this last game, everybody's been focusing on Marcus Mariota and, his completion percentage and those things. But I think mainly it's because it was a lot of drop passes. Last week we seen it was a lot of drop passes in crucial situations. So I feel like it's short, quick passes also get your quarterback in the rhythm. If you guys notice with Tom Brady in this last game, all he was doing is dinking and dumping. But once he hit those couple small, short 5-yard routes to Leonard Fournette here and there, then they were able to stretch us out and throw that ball to Evans down the sideline. So you want those safeties and those corners and those linebackers coming up when you're hitting those short passes, and then you'll have the opportunity to go over the top. So I really think, getting Drake, the ball, he's a playmaker. He's just like CP. Both Kyle Pitts, CP, and Drake London, those guys just need the ball in their hands. You don't have to, do nothing miraculous as far as scheming it up, because those guys are playmakers. Once that ball is in their hands, they're gonna do something with it, something special with it. So I definitely think we got to get them in, get them involved early. And because he's not a player that's really going to talk a whole lot, if you guys notice Drake London, he doesn't do a whole lot of talking. He lets his play do the talking. So get him involved in the game other than just blocking. We know these guys can block because these guys been getting after it as far as blocking, but we want to get these guys involved as far as just letting them touch the ball where they get their juices flowing. So when the fourth quarter rolls around, it's not like they're cold because they haven't seen the ball the whole game. It's just like a shooter. You don't want to get a ball to Steph Curry just in the fourth quarter. You want him shooting that thing all day. So when it comes down to when the game is on the line, he's already warmed up.
Hey man, yeah.
Oh, that's all you have to do is say Steph with me. I'm on my always.
The boy always out here investigating and shit. But yeah, Drake. Mike had a very interesting comparison. He said Drake is kind of like Roddy in a way. I can definitely see that. He's a little bit, like I said, he's a taller, more athletic version. But to be truthful to you, hell, Drake London reminds me of Kyle Pitts. Both of those guys mirror each other.
More so the temperament, more so the temperament. Yeah. Like I said, Roddy, you get Roddy the ball early, man, it's gonna be a long day for the defense. And that's like you look at Drake, he's so big and so physical. Like DBs already look at him, it's like he's already a big dude. So they're gonna be a little like they do with Mike Evans, they're a little careful about who and what they do to certain wide receivers. You can do that to OZ, you can do that to the smaller wide receiver. When you come in there trying to, smack talk Drake is a big dude. You ain't gonna smack. You gonna be careful when you smack talk those, those bigger wide receivers like that. They gonna give you that type of energy, and that's what Drake is at this point, man.
Right, and yeah, I definitely do agree. Like you said, and the main key thing was when Drake gets started early, it seems like the more comfortable. Like I said, it kind of seems like, and I know it's kind of seems like it's not necessarily just Drake, but Kyle Pitts as well. As like if Kyle Pitts get involved early as well, this is why I said they're both kind of alike. This is where Mariota gets more comfortable because, look, what our partners over at the AFN side of the game say? The pick your poison offense. Are you going to let Kyle Pitts go off, or are you going to let Drake London go off? But yeah, man, I agree. You gotta let Drizzy Drake out there go ahead and
you gotta do it one time for him, K Styles. Drake.
I forgot the whole damn thing. That's a surprise too. That thing made me laugh. He said, "Who tried to hide the world from his kid and his kid?" but yeah, I definitely like that one. Let's see. So we're gonna go ahead and get to let's get a few comments. What do y'all feel about Drizzy Drake being involved early? I want to get a couple minutes in here to read a couple comments on that as well. Um, he came in and said, I missed the beginning. Was one of the keys to victory, run the damn ball. I hope we can get that run game going against the 49ers. Major key. Boy, she be tagging me on Twitter every time they run the ball, boy. She like, hey, K-Style, I know you like that, huh? I'm like, yeah, you goddamn right I do. Shylock Swindle folks said Jimmy G just need to keep this visit he got going. 5 touchdown, 1 interception is good enough. We're gonna change that fortune this week. We changing that fortune. But let me see. Try to get a couple more in here. We're talking about I sound like the DOC. It's cold season. Yeah. I'm about to say 13 hours at work and getting up right before the show kind of do that to a play. So yeah.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and get to this second key, man. And we're gonna switch it up here a little bit. I'm gonna give the second key for the day. As you already know, we already know the emphasis of running the damn ball. We understand that. But there's one major key that has to be implemented this week and all weeks. $1. The Falcons need $1. Now, for those that are new here, that may not know what I'm talking about, $1 equates to 4 quarters. I don't think the Falcons have played consistently for 4 quarters at all this year. Even going after last week where we had a chance to win despite the fact that we were scoreless in 3 quarters. Like you said, the 49ers are a physical team. You have to match intensity for 4 quarters. Now, does that mean that we have to make sure we pass the ball for 250 yards, 300 yards? No. That's not what this Falcons team is about. This Falcons team is about running the damn ball. Like you said, $1, 4 quarters, 60 minutes, 4 15-minute quarters, yeah, all that. An hour, well, however the hell y'all want to put it. 1 hour. And I want to go ahead and get my brothers. I want to get y'all thoughts on that. How do y'all feel about the Falcons and their inefficiencies to play all 4 quarters? And do you think that this is the week that they can finally do that? So the floor is to anybody who wants that.
You want to go ahead, Mike? You want me to go ahead and take it?
Good.
So when it comes to 4 quarters, I think last week we had a good game plan because we all know, like you said, K-Styles, we want to come out and run the ball. But in this last game, it seems like on first down, Arthur Smith tries to throw the football because the Buccaneers had the box stacked and they didn't play well against the Chiefs the game before. They ran for like 180 yards against them. So I think the game plan was fine. It's just we weren't making plays when the plays were there to be had. And I think that was the biggest issue. Like you said, you got to play all 4 quarters. Like if you look at that fourth quarter, the way that we played when we got the momentum, it was like everything was going our way. But I think early in the game, it was just like we weren't capitalizing on opportunities that was there to be made. So I think that was the biggest thing. Um, I think someone in the chat said like the Seattle game probably was the best game when it came to as far as us playing a complete game. That probably was the best game that we played, other than the first game against the Saints, where we kind of just collapsed in the fourth quarter. But I really think in this last game, I kind of give the Falcons a pass, even though we shouldn't never give a pass. But I give them a pass because this was the first game that CP and KP or Kyle Pitts were out. So you had guys that had to step up, like Felipe Franks. You had guys playing different roles, like a Cordell Hodge, who hasn't been active for a lot of weeks. You had Avery Williams play a bigger role. You had Tyler Algier having to play a bigger role. So it was like guys that normally don't start were starting this game and had to, kind of pick up the slack. So it was kind of a next man up mentality in this last game. So I kind of think that was the biggest issue why we got out to a slow start. It's because guys didn't really know what to expect. And you seen, like we talked about Marcus Mariota getting comfortable. To me, early in the game, he didn't look comfortable because I don't know if he really trusted the guys that were out there with him. It's one thing throwing the ball to Kyle Pitts and throwing the ball to Drake London. Those guys are playmakers. You know that those guys are going to win their one-on-one matchups. But Cordell Hodge, a guy who he hasn't really played with all season, a guy like Demir Bird, who didn't even get targeted in the game at all. The only guy he was really familiar with is Olamide Zaccheaus, like that's played in the first 4 or 5 games. So I kind of cut them a little bit of slack for that. But I think that Arthur Smith had the right game plan. I think we just didn't execute his game plan. So I definitely think that this team should be better this week because Kyle Pitts should be back. And you have Drake London now. He can kind of go back to his normal role, which is really being the sidekick, not necessarily the number one target. We know Kyle Pitts now is going to draw coverage similar to when we had Julio. So you got Drake London dominating whoever that number 2, number 3 wide receiver is. So I think in this game, you'll see Marcus Mariota calm down a little bit. He'll be a little bit more comfortable because he has his number 1 target. And like we said, this is the first game without CP as well, who we know CP is really like the focal point of setting the tone in the run game. He's that guy that usually breaks off a 25-yard run, and then everything starts to, flow out, flow after that. So I think that was kind of the big issue in this last game is just guys were playing new roles. They had to step up to the plate, and it was a next man up mentality. So at least now we know, if Kyle Pitts for some reason gets nicked later on in this season, we got these guys that got that experience of playing in a big time game. Those NFC South games is different. So Cordell Hodge, those guys that actually got to play, some of those guys actually seized the opportunity. I mean, to me, Cordell Hodge played well other than the drop screen pass. He played pretty well. He had the 2-point conversion. So like I said, we'll cut these guys, cut them a little bit of slack, being that we were out, our top 2 playmakers were out in the last game. So we'll see how they look this week.
Okay. What's your take on the mic?
If you allow me just a few seconds, just ramble on because I want to show you guys a picture, and I think this picture is going to be quite hilarious. Just
don't tell me what you think. Nobody say nah. Don't tell me what I think it is. What I think it is.
It not exactly, but I have to do this because I think this is very important. But because this is something that I've said time and time again. All right, so the reason why I put up this picture is because I have to be this for you guys. And I put it in the wrong damn.
God damn it!
But it won't take but a second. But the reason why I put this picture is because, quite frankly, I think people are just going to have to get used to this. All right, I'm a Star Wars buff. All right, I love Star Wars. Anakin Skywalker, Luke Skywalker. But this one guy, he's a Sith Lord. And what he did was go and pretty much destroy all the hope for all the good guys. So I'm going to pull my own. And this is going to be Execute Order 66. The reason why I'm saying this is because all of you people, this is the reason why we are saying over and over and over and over again about stop with the young quarterbacks. This team has to build first. We are struggling to get off to fast starts. What in the bloody hell is going to change when we put a young rookie quarterback? Whether it's Desmond Ritter or Bryce Young or CJ Stroud or Midget Mini Me himself. What the hell they going to do for the Atlanta Falcons, okay? Not a damn thing. So from this point on, do not call me Mad Mike. Who is this K-Styles? Who is this?
Senator Palpatine.
Senator Palpatine. Call me Senator Palpatine because I'm here to destroy all of your good ideas. All right? It's over. Order 66 is in order. You are done, people. No more Desmond Ritter talk. The end. All right.
He said, go ahead, join the Dark Force, Anakin. You have very great potential, but it will not be utilized until you join the dark side.
Dark side. Join the dark side. We've been telling y'all very first note, this is the bad guy era. You better get with the Sith, baby.
This dude literally came out and said, execute Order 66.
Execute. Hey, bro. Hey. I'm telling y'all better jump on board.
He said we're going to treat
the bad guy era, bro.
He said we're going to treat them like Mace Windu.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what we gonna do. Okay.
Oh Lord, silence the call you Darth. He called you Darth Mike.
The Emperor, Darth Mike.
The Emperor, Darth Mike.
I'm just saying, man. I know that was a totally left. I know this is so left.
You don't know the power of the dark side.
Power of the dark side.
I'm about to say, bro. Just long ain't nobody goddamn Jar Jar Binks in this motherfucker, boy. We cool.
Hey,
we Falcons going to win.
We's gonna win. All right, man. I'm sorry I messed up the seriousness of this show.
And what the
hey, can't stop rubbing off on me, man. All right, so blame it on him, okay?
Hold on. All right, y'all can't hear me, can you? Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, can you hear? Okay, cool. Because I laughed so hard, my mic started malfunctioning and shit. So I think my mic got hit with the dark side. But all right, man. They call you Mike Skywalker now. Oh Lord have mercy. Hey, look. You rather be Mike Skywalker than a stormtrooper.
Oh, that for sure, because all you do is be the first one shot.
Man, them stormtroopers are some of the worst villains I've ever seen, bro. How the hell you miss everything?
They get
They
picked
about
off
as,
all the time, bro.
they about as bad as them damn soldiers in the Rambo movies.
that, oh my goodness.
All right, man. Hey, so you got a little bit of a laugh right there, man. I thought that was cool. Jew, we're gonna finish off our keys with the minister, and I think y'all gonna like what his key is. All right, Jew,
Oh,
go
yeah.
ahead and take it away.
K-Style, get the graphic.
Was it K Styles? Get the graphic. No, I gotta do it like this. Go ahead, Jew, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it.
K-Styles, get the graphic.
Graphic. Finish. What is that, Jew?
There you go. Finish your food. I had to steal one. I had to steal one from you, K Styles. I was gonna say finish the plays, but I had to say finish your food. You guys know when you're growing up and you playing around at the dinner table, and your parents say, "Stop playing with your food. Finish your food." The Falcons got to do that this week, man. Like I kind of already talked about it a little bit during your key to victory, K.
Mm-hmm.
But in this game, we got to finish plays, man. We got to finish our food. We got to stop playing with these teams. We got to start putting teams away. Last week, we know the refs cheated us out of that game last week, but we had opportunities early in the game where we could have avoided allowing the refs to cheat us out of that game. It shouldn't have even been that close, to be honest. We kind of spotted them 21 points where we could have easily early in the game. AJ Terrell drops a pick. We know that AJ Terrell is one of the best corners in the game. I understand the ball ricocheted off the receiver's hands, and it was a tough catch because he wasn't expecting the ball. All of a sudden the ball just popped up right in his chest. He wasn't expecting the ball to be there. But we gotta capitalize on these plays. We're leaving too much, as we say, we leaving food on our plate. We got to finish these plays, man. We have to finish our food in this game. If we take advantage of a lot of those plays early in the game that I talked about, with Cordell Hodge dropping that screen pass, which clearly they showed, Moose Johnson showed it on the replay where the blocks were in front of him. It was nobody left. Ferkser picked up his guy. I think it was Felipe Franks or Drake London on the outside. They picked up their blocks. If Cordell Hodge looks the ball in, catches it, he has a straight line, beeline to the end zone. Nobody in front of him. Green grass in front of him. So in this game, we got to finish our food. We got to finish plays. We're leaving too many opportunities out there. Rashaan Evans, the ball, right in front of him. The ball goes right through his hands. He's got in zone coverage right in front of Mike Evans. The ball is right there. And he almost catches it, but it goes through his arms. Like, those are the plays that are game-changing plays. You guys always know I talk about those 1 to 2, 3 plays in a game that can swing the pendulum in your favor. And we seen once the Falcons got that momentum in the fourth quarter, it's like we could do no wrong. But I feel like we have to gain that momentum earlier in the game. Like we've been waiting to the fourth quarter in a lot of these games. In the Rams game, you had the block punt. We came back from down 28-3 in that game. But you got to do this stuff early. When those opportunities early in the game, Young Wei Koo in this last game, uncharacteristically misses a field goal. Like, those are the type of plays that you can't have, because those are deflating plays, and those are plays where you can't build that momentum. So, you miss that field goal, and now you put the Buccaneers in good field position where they're able to march down the field and get a field goal or get a touchdown. So we got to be better at finishing these plays and finishing our food. We got to finish these teams off early. As I always talked about, and I talked about this a couple weeks ago, you don't have to worry about finishing the game if early in the game you handle your business and you have a 3, 4, 5 touchdown lead. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so many times where we have these opportunities, but we've been saying it week in and week out, we're not capitalizing. For whatever reason, we're not capitalizing, and we have to do better at that. Last year when we lost games, it was because of Eric Harris dropping the interception against the Cowboys in that first drive where he easily has a pick six. You know, those are games last year that we lost that could have easily been wins. And it's been similar, you know, this year, where last game against the Bucks, we really had so many plays that we could have made that we didn't make early in the game that could have put them away. So in this game, finish your food, finish plays, and you don't have to, you know, do anything special. I keep talking about this, and this is something that Arthur Smith, this is something that Dean Pease always talk about, is just do your part. Like I talked about the play with Cordell Hodge. It's like if he just looks the ball in and catches the ball, the guys on the outside did their job. They cleared the way for him to run. They blocked their guys. But all he has to do is catch the ball. So do the small things. Mike always talks about small, intricate details. That's what's causing us to lose these games. We can complain about the flag against Grady because they did cheat us, but at the same time, and you heard Arthur Smith, and you've been hearing these players preaching this, is we had plays earlier in the game that could have changed the game. Well, we wouldn't have put ourselves in a position to let the ref, you know, cheat us. So in this game, finish your food, because the 49ers are a team where we're going to be looking at basically a mirror image of ourselves as far as offense. They're a run team, zone running team, just like us. Great tight end with George Kittle. We got a great tight end in Kyle Pitts. We don't have CP in this game, and they have Debo, but our offenses look really, really familiar or similar. And we both play a physical style of offense and defense. So in this game, we got to finish. We got to finish our food in this game. You can't leave plays on the table. When you know, those field goals come back to bite you. When you miss a field goal, usually that's the game you lose by 2 points or 1 point. And it's like, dang, if we would have made that one field goal in the first quarter, the game would have been over. So finish your food in this game, guys.
AKA act like Bernie Mac from Friday. Miss Parker, let me tell you something. Better go and take advantage of that opportunity that you got right there. So, hey, man, so, Mike, what are your thoughts on that? Especially, like Jew said a key thing. He's like, these teams have a similarity about them. Why does it seem like the Falcons are not consistent with finishing their drives and finishing plays that could help them? What do you think that could be?
You really want to ask me that question?
Yes, I did. You are Senator Palpatine. You should be able to answer that with the use of the dark side of the Force.
I was trying not to.
You try not to laugh.
I try not to laugh. I'm trying to keep serious face because I wanted to rant and you wouldn't let me. It's simple, man. All right. Nelly wants on this song. I am number one. Why would I be saying that? One. I am one. I won. The reason why I'm saying one, highlighting one. How many girlfriends do you want? Maybe one. How many wives do you want? Maybe one. How many millions that you want to make a week? Probably one. One. I want to be like Marcus Mariota and wear the number one. All right? Just one. They've been together for 1 year, people. Who in the hell has built a Super Bowl team in 1 year? When was the last time you seen a head coach who was hired, built the team, and won the same team? He tore it down 1 year, completely tore it down, and then, you know, from the front office, the players, the everything about the Atlanta Falcons. just completely destroy it and say, all right, 1 year we're gonna win the Super Bowl. We're gonna get to the Super Bowl. Doesn't happen. In any sport, it doesn't happen. Gotta have a foundation. They've been together 1 year, people. This is a new team. It took Matt Ryan 3 years to finally get to an elite status. When Michael Turner was on the downside of his career, that's when Matt Ryan took off. So what? Why in the hell do we think that magically Mario is going to come in and throw 4,000 yards? The offense going to rush for 2,000, and we just going to win 13 games. Bro, stay out of these Madden tournaments. Stay out of these dang on fantasy football leagues. It's not helping you. Come into the real world. In order to get paid at work, you got to work it. You have to at least put 2 weeks in the hole. We all know that. What? Why? That's the reason why they're struggling in the first quarter, in the second quarter. And they've been together 1 year. This man is completely coming up with a game plan for this particular team. Matt Ryan ain't on this team. Calvin Ridley is not on this team. I don't see Russell Gage on this team. I don't see Julio Jones. So why do you guys expect this team to be consistent when they've been together literally this is the first time they've been together, this particular team. So let's just be real, people. Stop with the fantasy. This is not how the real world works in any capacity. In order to marry your wife, guess what? You got to get to know her. Well, she's going to be cutting your wee-wee off like damn Jeffrey Dahmer, okay? And hide in the refrigerator. I just had to throw that one there because everybody been talking about Jeffrey Dahmer. I had to throw that one there. Right. Well, I'm done. Hey man, I'm in a playful mood today, man.
That should remind me of that South Park episode. That should remind me of that South Park episode where I guess Kyle's little brother was about to get a circumcision, and Stan told his friend, he's like, "Hey, I found out what a circumcision is." Say, "What is that?" "They're going to chop off his wee-wee." What? Oh Lord, have mercy, man. Okay, let me get back into the game. What D. Coleman talking about? I made you a sandwich. Yeah, that Jeffrey Dahmer was motherfucking insane. And the police chief knew what the fuck he was doing, and they did nothing about it. But we got about another 15 to go here. What player from the 49ers are you looking at that could be detrimental to the Falcons executing these three keys to victory? Can you hear me?
Huh? Oh, you talking to me? Oh shit.
I'm talking to whoever. I'm talking about whoever. The stage is open. Everybody looking at you like,
dude, you can take it. I thought we were talking to you.
Ask your question again, Kay.
I said, so for out of the 49ers roster, what guy on that team, whether it be offense or defense, that the Falcons have to pay special attention to. I mean, we know the obvious ones is usually
Is he going out a little bit?
I think he froze.
nah, I don't. Did I freeze up? See,
You back
Mike.
now,
Yeah,
bro.
he froze a little bit.
The dark side and took over your guy.
I'll be right back, people.
I think he was going to say
what the hell? Like,
nah, he jumped out real quick. I think he was about to say what player from the 49ers. You were going to say which player from the 49ers.
See, I shouldn't have mentioned them police chiefs and Jeffrey Dahmer. That's why that happened.
Now the Emperor came in there.
But they treated me like Mace Windu, done shot my ass out the window. And but go ahead, you.
Now you were about to ask a player on the 49ers. Were you about to say like which player we expect to have like the most impact from
who should the 49ers be? Who should the Falcons be looking out for? Well, the Falcon fans. Hold on, I'm trying to word this right. Who are you paying close attention to on the 49ers? Like I said, we know the obvious is Deebo Samuel, George Kittle, but is there any other person that you say, okay, Falcons need to watch out for this guy?
I would say it's mainly the 49ers running game, period. Whoever's carrying the rock, because we know Kyle Shanahan, everything is based off of the running game, like on the offensive side of the ball. Even when he was here in Atlanta, like everybody focused on, Matt Ryan, had the MVP season, but really what set the tone for that offense in 2016, and we kind of overlooked it. It was Freeman and Coleman catching the ball out of the backfield and running the ball. Like that pretty much set up everything in the pass game. And that's what's going to happen pretty much in this game. We know that Kyle Shanahan, his offense is similar to Arthur Smith. It's a run-first offense. No matter who the running back's been for the 49ers, I know now they have a new running back. I think he wears like the number 22. I don't even know the kid's name, but I know that whoever's in the backfield, whether it's been his dad, Mike Shanahan, when he was with the Denver Broncos, and the same for Kyle Shanahan, everywhere he's went, the running game has always been the focal point because we know he's great at scheming up different running plays. So in this game, I feel like the Falcons are going to have to stop the run first and foremost because nobody's scared of Jimmy G. We know Jimmy G will throw the ball to us. It's going to be similar to what I said in the game against Jacoby Brissett against the Browns. This game is going to look a lot like that Cleveland game because they are run-first offense. You want to put the game in Jimmy G's hands in this game. So in this game, we need to drop more, 8 men in the box because I will dare Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball in tight coverage and beat me. And with us having, a really good secondary, I don't know if Isaiah Oliver is going to come back. Hopefully he's a pleasant surprise and comes back this game because they're playing it real close to the vest. Like they really haven't said when he's coming back. We know he's practicing, but we don't know what game he's going to actually come back in. But even if he doesn't play, we know that our secondary is one of the strong points of our defense. So Casey Hayward, AJ Terrell, Richie Grant, Hawkins, Jalen Hawkins, those guys, D. Alford, I would dare Jimmy Garoppolo to throw the ball against us. And I'm selling out in the run in this game, and I'm putting the game in Jimmy G's hands. So I say the running game is the biggest thing that we should worry about if we're the Falcons in this game. On the defensive side of the ball, you just want to run the ball to take away what Nick Bosa, I believe it's Nick Bosa. I always get the Bosa brothers mixed up. Whichever one that plays for the 49ers, I think it's Nick Bosa. You want to limit these guys from coming downhill because they're similar to the Saints where they just want to attack the line of scrimmage. They want to blitz. They want to be physical. They don't want to cover, They they're not one of those defenses that want to cover. They're going to be very aggressive. So you got to eliminate those negative plays, and that's what they kind of talked about. Arthur Smith, Marcus Mariota. If y'all listen to their press conference today, Mariota says we have to avoid the negative plays on first and second down. If you don't avoid those negative plays, like running the ball, dropping snaps and things of that nature, losing yardage on first down, false starts, any of those things early in the first and second down, you got to stay ahead of the chains, because the 49ers feed off of getting pressure to your quarterback. So in this game, I'm putting this game in our running backs' hands, to be honest. I feel like you got to run at this defense. You got to do just like what we did in week 1 against the Saints and what we did against Cleveland. The way that you stop, somebody that's throwing haymakers is throw your own haymakers. We got to punch back and let our offensive line do what they did the first 5 weeks is pretty much beat up on every single defensive line we played. So I would get in those heavy sets and I would run right at Bosa. I would run right at their linebackers. We know they have Fred Warner, who's one of the best inside linebackers in the NFL. But the way that you negate their aggressiveness is you got to be aggressive back. If you be passive and you try to, throw at a blitz, usually that doesn't work well. You don't want your offensive line backpedaling in this game. We want to go straight at this defense, and we want to be physical, because it's going to be one of those matchups, like I said, against Cleveland, where we basically was the battle of the running games. That's going to be another game where it's going to be a slugfest in the trenches. So we got to come out swinging in this game.
All right. I like that. What's your thoughts on it, Mike? Like I said, there anybody else that...
Honestly, I think we're a better team than the 49ers. I think we're a better team than the 49ers. We have more weapons offensively. Drake London. I don't think Debo is a very good wide receiver. He's a great playmaker. You put the ball in his hand, he can make some things happen. He's obviously one of the better tight ends, but he's on the downside of his career. So many injuries. The offensive line is up and down for the 49ers. The defense is still probably one of the better part of that team. But I just look at the Falcons, Grady Jarrett. They don't have a Grady Jarrett on that team. They don't have an AJ Terrell on that team. And granted, to be honest, I think one is a very good linebacker, but I think at some point in time, Troy Anderson is going to be better than him. The secondary, I think our safeties are better. Richie Grant is just showing over and over again. I can just keep going on and on. But one thing that they have right now is a complete staff that has been together. They have a cohesive unit as far as their coaching is concerned. But Jimmy G doesn't scare anybody. You know what I'm saying? It's like listening to Kermit the Frog, trying to bully somebody. Like, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere, nobody's worried about your ass. Like that's what I look at. I got Jimmy G. That's weird. He reminds me of Kermit the Frog. He looked tough, and he out here going out with porn stars and stuff like that. But you ain't tough. He doesn't scare me. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, I think the Falcons are a better team. They should win this game. It's going to be a physical team. And let's be honest, man, the Falcons got a chip on their shoulder. They ready to put this man in the hospital. And that man I'm talking about is Kyle Shanahan. Or as OG Chauncey would say, take a Shanahan. So I think we're just a better team. That is my honest opinion. We're young, so there's going to be some ups and downs, but I just think we are a better overall team. The roster, can't nobody tell me that the 49ers have a better roster than us. Like, let's be real. I just don't believe it.
I think y'all both made good points.
The coaching is everything. I'll tell you that too. I just got to say that coaching is everything in football. You got to have a great coach. So they, like I said, they've been to that. They've been to the playoff. They've been to the mountaintop. We haven't been there, so they could quite possibly win just on that alone. They understand who they are, their identity. We're still finding that, but I just think we're a better team than the 49ers.
Okay. Well, yeah, I liked everybody's points on that. Um, a player that I'm kind of paying attention to and is a guy that's on their team. I feel like they can kind of exploit his aggressiveness in a way on their defense. But he's kind of emerging as a, I wouldn't say necessarily a star, but he's making a name for himself on that defense. And that's that dude Huafonga.
Yeah, they safety. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The things that they do with him is kind of on the Jamal Adams side of the game, where they like to use him in an aggressive role. Now, as I look through DraftKings, the 49ers are a 6-point favorite against the Falcons. Which means we're in another game that they expect us to lose by at least 7 to 10 points. Sounds like a trend that's been going on this year. Falcons have already hit the media expectation. But they hit all these media's expectations. Hashtag 2 and 15. Hashtag 2 and 15 for the whole season.
Hashtag nobody pick.
Mm-hmm. And then they know the average person thought that the Falcons might have got their first win probably against Chicago. They said these first 6 games we was gonna go 0-6. But as we said before, the Falcons have not lost these games. The teams that they played haven't beaten the Falcons. The Falcons have been beating themselves. What do you always say? And like I said, this is Drew's statement when it comes to the Falcons and football in general. What is your favorite line, Drew?
Are you referring to there's always 2, 3, 4 plays in the game? Yeah, win or lose you the game.
Which goes back to what Drew's key was: finish your food.
Finish your food.
Mm-hmm.
I had to make sure on my other statement, K Styles, that good teams don't beat themselves. You know, I got a lot of statements.
Hey, you got. hey, I about to say, throw fire in the chat. I want everybody to throw some fire in the chat. Y'all hear what we got going on. Throw some fire in the chat. We can't leave this show without some fire. But yeah, man. Even going back to the 49er game last year, it was essentially the same thing. It was opportunities that could have been took that we lost the game on. These 40 that, like I said, the league has been put on notice about the Atlanta Falcons right now.
It's a different type. This is a different type of team, man. A different animal that a lot of Falcons fans are used to, but they weren't ready for it. Y'all said y'all want it. This is the Mike Vick era. This is exactly what we got. This is the Mike Vick era. Everything that you're saying right now, this is exactly how Dan Reeves, God bless him, RIP, but this is how he built this team. The exact same blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing different. There's literally nothing different. We're trying to go after defensive players, running game, offensive linemen, tight ends. Come on, baby. Y'all wanted it. This is how Jew became a fan of the Atlanta Falcons. Tough defense, offensive line of Trenton and Mike Vick.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all don't want it now?
Because it's not pretty. See, I think what the issue came down to is not all, but some of us kind of expected that the mindset of the expectancy of what they wanted from the Falcons was he was thinking you wanted a different type of quarterback. Like I said, you wanted a new quarterback, but you wanted Matt Ryan results. Arthur Smith already told you from the very first time he got here, the philosophy of this team is not what you're going to be expecting from what you've had the last few years. Mariota ain't wowing nobody. But let me tell y'all something. Even though he's not wowing nobody, even though he's not putting up numbers like we all expected, his numbers are pedestrian right now. But y'all can't tell me in these fourth quarters where these comebacks is coming from. Yes, they are still running the ball. But Mariota got to make some throws too in order to keep that balance. This is why Mariota is still the starting quarterback despite mediocre numbers. It ain't pretty. Mm-hmm. But when you need it, mm-hmm, it comes through.
Mm-hmm. And we in every game. We almost in every game. We came back from 21 points down. Why? Because we do the dirty, filthy, disgusting, most important things well.
Right.
3 games straight. Who came up with the big time sack? I just want to know. 3 games in a row.
Grady Jarrett.
Yep.
So these guys ain't doing it. These guys ain't doing, like I said, they wanted, like I said, you wanted the Michael Vick experience with the Matt Ryan numbers. This is where the confusion, this is where the fight comes from. You want the Michael Vick era experience, but the Matt Ryan era numbers. Even when Arthur Smith was coaching at Tennessee, this is the exact offense they ran. The shit wasn't pretty. Ryan Tannehill barely threw for over 3,000 yards. They didn't even know if Derrick Henry was going to be the Derrick Henry that they got now.
Mm-hmm. He turned. Excuse me, but he turned him into that. Let's be real, people. Who you think turned Derrick Henry into? Derrick Henry wasn't even Derrick Henry when he first got there. Who you think turned him into that monster? Who you think that pulled the Master Yoda out and said, "Look, from within, find your strength from within"? Mm-hmm. That was Arthur. He wasn't Derrick Henry when he got in the league. He was an absolute bust. Let's keep that 110% real. A bust until Arthur got a hold of him and said, "This is how I want you to run the ball. This is how we're gonna run the ball. This is how our offensive line is gonna play. We're gonna smash you in the face. It ain't nothing you can do about it."
Exactly.
I'll say this is the biggest thing I think with this new regime, as we say, the bad guy era. we're going away from relying on Matt Ryan, relying on a high-powered offense, and we're doing it on all three phases. That's what we're seeing from this team. Mike was just talking about, we seen Grady with the walk-off, sacks in 3 games. But it's if you look at like the games that we played so far this season, and we've been in every single game, the special teams has been crucial. K's big on special teams. We had a block punt against the Rams. This last game, you had a big punt return by Avery Williams. Usually, Younghoe Koo's automatic. You have Pinion, who's been a beast punting the ball for us this year, pinning teams deep, pretty much the whole season and giving us good field position. Like all of that factors in. So if you look at this team, one thing that I love about this team is we're doing it on all three phases. They're not really relying on the offense or relying on one player. And I think that was kind of what we made our mistake with Matt Ryan as the years waned. It's kind of like we put everything on Matt Ryan's plate and we wanted him to be the superhero, the savior, to save us. And that's the reason why they're not going to throw Desmond Ridder in there, because there's no saviors on this team. This team is next man up mentality. Like we seen last Sunday, you're going to have to go out there and compete. Because I don't hear anybody talking about, K always talks about this supposed to be the worst roster in the league. That's what everybody's told us all season and prior to the season starting, that this is the 32nd ranked team in the league. This is the worst roster in the league. But you literally took the Buccaneers, who's pretty much been the cream of the crop in the NFC South. We took them to the wire, came back down from 21 without our top 2 playmakers. Like, let's be real. What happens last week if we have CP? What happens last week if we have Kyle Pitts? Like, nobody's talking about that. You didn't hear nobody after the game complain and say, well, we didn't have CP. We didn't have Kyle Pitts. That's the reason why the Bucs beat us. You didn't hear Arthur Smith go to the podium and make any excuses about, the sack with Grady Jarrett on Tom Brady. It was just, we should have made the plays earlier in the game. This is a no excuse team. So that's what I love about this regime, is that they're holding everybody accountable, but they're relying on everybody on this roster to play a role, which in the last regime, we kind of just relied on, we're going to put the game in Matt Ryan's hands and hope that he can carry us all the time. But we always talk about when the offense needs to be picked up, who on the defense is going to make a play? When the defense don't got it going, who on the offense is going to make a play? When, the offense and the defense is struggling, who on the special teams is going to make a play and pick up that side of the ball? So I really think that that's the biggest thing that I love about this team, is that we're doing it on all three phases. They're not relying on one man. And that's the reason why they brought in a Marcus Mariota, because whoever you bring in at the quarterback position, whether they draft another quarterback, whether they groom Desmond Ridder and let him be the starter, they're not relying upon one guy or relying on the quarterback, because we see with the LA Rams, how's that working out for them with them trying to rely on Matthew Stafford? They're struggling. They're struggling because they're trying to put everything on his plate in that passing game. They're trying to put everything on Cooper Kupp's plate, and we see that it's not panning out. It's not looking well. They lost to Dallas last week, and we pretty much almost walked them down 28-3 because it's the Cooper Kupp show and the Matthew Stafford show. Like, it's not a team-oriented all three phases. So I love what this roster is doing, that we're relying on all of these guys to do their job. We're not just relying on somebody to be the superhero and playing hero ball.
And when you talk about the Rams, where the hell Allen Robinson at? I thought this was supposed to have been a 1-2 punch.
Ooh, you see how that worked? That chemistry, something else, ain't it?
They really missing Von Miller right about now. They could have gave that money to Von Miller and re-signed him.
That's what happened. I think offense is the way, instead of building a complete team.
Right.
That's why it took them 5 years to win 1 Super Bowl with that team and one of the most dominant players in the history of the game. It took you 5 years to get that.
Right.
But hey,
I see the chat. a good statement after you get this statement. Okay, right above
90
it.
babies tribute band said Ryan Tannehill ain't threw over 200 yards since he been with the Titans because we're a run first team. If Ritter ever plays, he will never throw over 150 because y'all are becoming Titans built team.
The team we playing is the 49ers is the prime example. Like Jimmy G is not a franchise quarterback. And this man had played in the Super Bowl, and last year he was in the NFC Championship game. And to be honest, he was a Jaquaski Tart interception away from being back in the Super Bowl. Real talk. He don't drop that easy interception. They're beating the Rams and going back to the Super Bowl. So
right, which goes back to 1, 2, 3 plays. But yeah, what was that comment that you said? Because I saw another one.
It was right above the comment. It was John St. Clair. He says, you said it yesterday. Cooper Rush is proof that it's a team game. Like, yeah, I don't know if y'all mentioned that in y'all show yesterday, but that's a prime example of. I mean, it takes a team. It takes a. I mean, this man, what 4-0, 5-0,
5-0.
This man is an undrafted. Like Central Michigan, I think. Like, who knew who a Cooper Rush was? They literally found this man off the street, and this man out here looking like he got the Cowboys playing better than when they had Dak Prescott. That just goes to show you when you play complimentary football, it goes a long way, man.
Yeah, because with Cooper Rush, they essentially go back to what they built that offense on, which was running the damn ball.
Yeah,
and not taking chances. But this is kind of the blessing and curse of having a, what they say, kind of like a franchise type quarterback like that, because essentially with these coaches, a lot of them get too quarterback happy. So now we're relying on the quarterback. This is what we said earlier in the show. This is what happens when you rely on the quarterback too much and you negate building the damn team.
And that's what pissed me off about when we always talk about contracts. That pissed me off. Like when we always talk about, everybody wanted to focus on, well, Matt Ryan was making $100 million. Everybody was focused on Dak Prescott getting that new contract. But it's like, they could run this same exact offense with Dak Prescott. That's pretty much what they did his rookie season in 2016 when they went 13-3 as far as the Cowboys. You played complimentary football. You rode Zeke Elliott, gave him the ball 25, 30 times a game. You played solid defense. You had decent special teams. So it all goes back to, like you said, hand in hand. Like in football, it's more than just about having a great quarterback. You have to have a team. If you don't have a team, being a great individual means nothing. We've seen that for years. Matt Ryan is a Hall of Famer, but it means nothing with him not having a team and having the guys around him to help him be successful. So I'd rather have a team built around an average quarterback than have a Pat Mahomes with nobody to throw the ball to, with no defense, with no special teams, with no, not a great coaching staff. We've said it for years and years and years. Going back to what Randy Moss said years ago, that great players can't overcome poor coaching. So, no weapons, you're not going to get far. We've seen that. And some of these teams that have these average quarterbacks, they're winning year in and year out. You've seen Nick Foles, win a Super Bowl. We went through this, numerous times of talking about guys that were journeymen that were either able to win a Super Bowl or able to make a deep run in the playoffs because they had good teams around them, good coaching staff, and they wasn't making that $100 million. But I just feel like it pisses me off when you see we based off of the contract. Well, this player needs to throw the ball 30 plus times a game, and he needs to be the reason that this team wins because his contract says that he makes this. I just want to win games, no matter how it looks, how we get it done. As long as you get the job done, I think that should be the most, the paramount thing. But we've seen through the years, everybody wants to focus on. If your quarterback makes this X amount, then he has to be the reason you win.
And shout out to my homie right here, Rakondo. Run the damn ball. Ball. Champagne said, what do you guys think about Rashawn Henry? Don't really know too much about him.
Prototypical wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. Straight line speed, no wasted movement. He can get up to about a 4.4. Good with hands, but you're not going to see a lot of double moves and all that type of stuff. He gets to a spot, catches the ball, run. That's all you need to know.
Hey, AKA nothing like Calvin Ridley.
Nothing like Calvin Ridley.
Exactly.
Sometimes football is just as simple as that.
Like you said, you jump, like I said, that's why a lot of times that's why Devontae Freeman kind of struggled after he got that contract. Them jump cuts wasn't saving his ass no more. Them jump cuts weren't working. A lot of times you just gotta hit the hole and go and hit it running, run downhill. You can't jump cut everything. But I think I put this comment up earlier. I'm gonna go ahead and put it right back up. Dre here said this is kind of why I think the whole Mariota Desmond Ritter talk. It said the fans that want Ritter only want to see him reaffirm that he's trash so they can shout CJ Stroud in the draft. That shit ain't happening, and neither is Lamar Jackson next year. And that's my theory right there. And that's my theory.
You got 300 million? Because I ain't got it.
Yeah, nah, you get Lamar Jackson, that quote-unquote $100 million cap space you got gets cut by 60% just with his contract alone.
And you can't keep the players you got neither. You get him, you can say bye-bye to Caleb McGarry. You can say goodbye to AJ Terrell. You can say goodbye to a whole bunch of these guys that's about to get paid. So they're not going to do that just for that mere fact that they got other guys they're going to have to pay.
Right. And then 90 baby said stats don't win games. Hart do Pittsburgh rookie quarterback threw 300 yards and lost 31-3.
Tom Brady was going to lose last week. That boy had almost 400 yards passing last week, dinking and dumping. He's going to blow a 21-point lead. I don't know if y'all seen in the chat. I was in the chat yesterday. Y'all showing. I said, I'm telling my grandkids that the Falcons came back from being now 0 to 21 to zap against the GOAT. That's going to be my meme. You know how you always see those memes that say, I'm going to tell my kids this was so-and-so. There's going to be a picture of Tom Brady. That's going to be my story, and I'm sticking to it. The Falcons was down 21-0 in the fourth quarter and came back and beat the GOAT, the so-called GOAT. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We ain't gonna even mention the failed call or the sack that wasn't a sack.
Right.
Oh, we ain't gonna talk about that. We ain't want to talk about that. We'll leave that alone.
The Southside said it was actually 38-3. Good God. Yeah, I remember that Pittsburgh game. The only thing that they showed about that game was Kenny Pickett and Gregory Rousseau about to scrap on the field. That's all I saw. That was the only thing memorable. See, get one more. Let's see if I get. Let's see where we get to. I think we're gonna go ahead and wind it down for the night. I ain't see what damn time it was. Let's go ahead and cut this thing on the real side of the game. To the heavy hitters, trio of minds, one goal, and that's to give y'all the stats, facts, and the truth. So what y'all could do for us is make sure you go ahead and share this out to your peoples. Subscribe to Juke Talk Sports. 2K coming soon. Mad Mike Sports.
Oh, yeah. Almost
Working on
almost
that.
At 8. Almost getting it.
Working on that.
Working on that
8K.
10K. I'm still gonna give something away. I might give up maybe 100, 200, depending on how I'm feeling when we get to that 10K. And that's a promise.
So get him to that 8K. And your boy 6-Man K Styles. We got a little ways to go to get to 2K. But guess what? The heavy hitters will always be here. So until next time, people, we ain't here to play. We here to stay.
Ooh, yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you gotta get the heck up out of here.
Deuces. Hey.